Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of October 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my original tarot deck, and then I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Sag, with a Halloween Oracle card. Yes, it is that time. It's my favorite time of year. I love fall. It's my birthday, in September. Then we have Halloween, and then we go into the holidays, and it's just my favorite time of year. Oh, I have two new announcements. A lot of you have been messaging me about starting a business, and I think that's really, really cool. But one of the questions I do get asked quite a bit is, how do I know when is the right time to go into my business full time? Like if you're working a job and you want to quit your job because you want to go full-time entrepreneur, there's some things you need to have in place, and I created a free checklist for anyone who wants it. I will have the link down below, and you can sign up and get a copy of the 6 things that you need to have before you quit your job and, start your full-time business. Also, I've been getting messages from quite a few of you about private readings, and if you did not know, I am taking a break from private readings until January of next year. So if you are interested in getting a reading, I have partnered with Keen.com, and they are the largest psychic network online. I have worked with them for 3 years. I can't recommend them enough. I have actually quite a few friends of mine who are readers on Keen, and they do have a special coupon. You can get 10 minutes for $1.99 if you are a brand new customer. If you're interested in that, that will also be linked down below as well. So let's go ahead and get started with Sagittarius. Looks like things are changing for the better already from what I can see. Slow changes are good, but yeah, you're definitely healing some stuff, Sagittarius. So what do we need to know for Sag as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2021? Okay, so, I don't do really like relationship or love readings, but sometimes, it's hard to ignore the fact that relationships can influence our finances. That's just pretty much a reality, right? Because, depending on, what we're doing in our lives, who we're doing it with, how we're doing whatever we're doing, money is going to come into play in pretty much every relationship dynamic, whether you're with, a romantic relationship, whether it's a family relationship, whether it's a business, professional relationship, there's money is a key factor. But when I look at this Sagittarius, this tells me that there has been some relationship stuff that has been affecting your money or affecting your income, maybe affecting how you spend or invest or earn your money. I'm not sure. But I say that because I see the Death card, and then I see the Lovers card, and then I see the Three of Swords. Now, this is not bad from what I'm seeing here. It looks like, I want to say the word recovery. Your finances are recovering, maybe even from maybe some relationship stuff that maybe not only drained you emotionally, but financially as well. The Death card in the reverse talks about life transition. It talks about change. It talks about sometimes literally dying to an old self or putting to rest one phase of your life and moving into a new phase. When it's in the reverse, it means that these changes are happening very incrementally, and sometimes they're happening painfully But when all is said and done, it's for the better. The Three of Swords in the reverse talks about healing from heartbreak. In other words, there was some emotional, heavy stuff you were dealing with, and you're actually on the positive track now, right? It's not holding you back. You've dealt with the feelings, you've dealt with the stuff. And so your finances are starting to kind of recover as well. Now, it doesn't mean that maybe someone stole money or something like that, but maybe you just were not as motivated to work on your business. Maybe you were not, feeling yourself when you went into work every day, and that affected your sales, or maybe it affected your, how you interact with your coworkers or your customers or your clients. So all of these things can have an impact in how much money we attract, how much money we earn, and how, enthusiastic we are about bringing more money to us. But here's where it gets really, really good. We have the Lover's card in the upright position. This is a divine union. This is a divine connection. It could be maybe you were going through some stuff and now the relationship has been reconciled. It could also mean that, maybe you've let go of something and you're moving into a new passion project. You're moving into something new that you love and that you enjoy, and that is really heart-centered and soul-focused for you. It's definitely going to increase your money because you're going to be much more encouraged, much more motivated, maybe even more disciplined to get out there and really do what you need to do in order to shine and make that money. We have the Strength card. Now, the Strength card in the reverse could mean that maybe physically you're dealing with some heavy stuff. It could also mean that maybe you're drained and you're not necessarily fully 100%, right? Like maybe you are 80-90% your old self, but there's still a little bit of stuff that you're dealing with, and that's what the Strength card tells us. The other thing about the Strength card being in the reverse is that it talks about overwhelm. Sometimes it talks about burnout too. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, which tells me that work is definitely going to take on some new energy. Look for an increase in your workflow. Expect to be very, very busy. A lot of companies are looking for new workers. I know a lot of us have kind of been taking on maybe several positions in our workplace just because of staff shortages and changes and so forth. But looks like that's going to change very, very soon. And this is going to give you an opportunity to make some more money, either by picking up some extra shifts, working overtime, or maybe even adding on a second job for some of you. Some of you may work a part-time weekend thing and you're getting extra money, getting ready for the holidays, or maybe you just want to take care of some bills, some debt, whatever. Finally, the Four of Swords in the reverse. This is the proactive card. It's not stepping back. It's not taking a rest. Quite the opposite. You're really showing up for yourself in a very big way. Again, you're going to be very active. You're going to be very, very busy. Now, the other thing too I want to mention is that, sometimes we work through our feelings. And when I look at these cards, I have a feeling, Sagittarius, that's what you're going to be doing. You may not feel like you're, I said earlier, you may not feel like you're 100% yourself, but you're feeling good enough that you can give it all you got. You're going to work through maybe feeling a little uncomfortable, maybe still dealing with some emotional hurt, but your tenacity and your determination to do that is really going to pay off. All right, so let's see what else shows up for Sagittarius. Whoa, as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2021. All right, Sagittarius. So as we move into the second week of October 2021, I hope I said the correct the correct month. I don't know if I did, but this is October 2021 in case I didn't say it. But anyway, so we have Judgment, the Judgment card. Now, this is another card that talks about rebirth and transformation, right? Sometimes it's about showing up in a totally different way energetically. It could be physically too for some people, but this is all about energetic feeling and intention. So you have a very strong drive right now to really get your money groove going. That's what I'm picking up here. It's like you know, maybe this emotional stuff was difficult and, you know, it set you back, you know, in whatever way. And now you are just full on ready to do whatever it takes to kind of make up for that. And you are all about the hustle, the grind. You are all about making the money. However you can make more money, that's really what you're focusing on. That's where your energy is at right now. So the Judgment card, like I said, really talks about showing up differently, but not necessarily physical, but it's energetically. It's like you are focused with your money on your mind, and your mind is on your money. And I see that really influencing everything you do, probably for the first half of the month. Now we got the King of Wands. This is a good card to see in the upright position. That means somebody is noticing you. Somebody is evaluating what you do, how you do it, but it's very favorable, right? So it could be a manager, could be a potential client, customer, partner. But somebody really likes what you do, and somebody wants to work with you. Somebody wants to hire you. Somebody wants to buy what you're selling. This could even be somebody wants to promote you. You know, it looks like you may be considering some leadership roles, because I see the Emperor here. Now we also have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a lucky card, but when he shows up in the reverse, sometimes it means that things can quickly shift and things can turn. Doesn't necessarily mean that things are, you know, changing for the worse, but sometimes things just kind of happen out of the blue and nobody saw it coming, and it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. But at the same time, this is good. You know, it's like it's teaching me something, or it's preparing me for something, or it's making me do something that I probably should have done but I didn't do, and now I'm forced to do it. So as it relates to your money, as it relates to your finances, pay attention to how you can be, I want to say the word proactive, but I also want to say prepared. It's about being prepared financially, right? Have your savings set aside. Make sure your insurance is up to date. Make sure that, you know, your policies and your statements and all those things are correct. Because this is telling me that you just want to be prepared. If you're prepared, you're going to be fine. If you're not prepared, then it could be a very painful situation, and we don't want that. So financially, make sure you are prepared. We talked about the Emperor. Like I said, this could be you, Sagittarius, considering taking on a leadership role, is what I'm getting from that. Do you want to be promoted to a manager or supervisor? Do you want to start your own business and be the main head honcho in the company? You know, I'm feeling like it's really a calling for you to be a leader, to be someone who is a pioneer in one way, shape, or form. It's definitely going to be a new journey for you in one way or another. But the thing is you're going to be richly rewarded, not only financially, but also in pride and how you feel, and also the way you see yourself, how you interact, you know, what your perspective is, not only with the world, but within yourself. So the Fool talks about going in a new direction, trying new things. Also, the other thing about the Fool is sometimes it talks about being naive to the sense that it actually works in your favor. Because sometimes when you know too much about something, then you know that, you know, it's almost like your knowledge works against you, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that because XYZ. But if you don't know those things because this is new, then you just go ahead and do it anyway, you know, and you learn as you go. So I have a feeling that's going to come into play here too, Sagittarius. All right, Sag, let's see what else shows up for you. Wow, we got a repeater here. Oh, 2 repeaters. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of October 2021. like I need one more card. All right, Sagittarius, so we've got some repeaters here. Whatever was going on with the Lover's card here, remember we talked about that relationship that could be healing or reconciling, or maybe it's, you know, you both are happy going your separate ways, whatever the case may be. It looks like it's continuing to heal. It's continuing to grow. It's continuing to be reaffirmed. The other thing about the Lover's card, if that's not the case, this is a divine union. You could be landing your dream job. You could be taking part in a passion project that means the world to you, something that really is what you are here to do. And you're going to love every aspect of it. So if it's a career, you're going to love not only the job, but the people you work with. You're going to love the salary. You're going to love the benefits. You're going to love the office that you work in. So it's all good. It's definitely all good. We also have the Judgment card. The Judgment card, again, we talked about rebirth. I think that you're still continuing to kind of transform yourself, Sagittarius. You're transforming the way you think, which is going to transform your income. It's going to transform your money story internally. So maybe you are kind of reprogramming yourself to receive more, to have more, to do more, to be more. You know, you can only receive as much money as you are able to consciously, you know, receive. You know, some of us are so programmed that, oh, I can only make a certain amount. No. You can make as much money as you allow yourself to make. And it could be, I'm sensing that you're going to be kind of expanding your wealth container, so to speak, Sagittarius. Now we got the Nine of Wands here, and the Nine of Wands is a card of discouragement. I'm not surprised to see that fell on that reverse Wheel of Fortune. Remember, it's all about preparation, especially in your finances. You know, maybe you were prepared, but maybe you know, a little emergency kind of wipes out your savings, or you had money designated for something else and now you have to use it for this because, you know, you have to cover something. Discouragement is normal, but it's not permanent, okay? So understand that everybody goes through that throughout their life, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to recover from that as well. We also have the Ace of Cups. This means that something you had high expectations for kind of falls short of what you thought it would be. Again, it's the Ace of Cups, so that has an emotional connection to it, but because we're talking about money and finances, there's something that you had high hopes for, and maybe you're just a little bit disappointed. Now, that could also be in relation to this card here, so just kind of stay open, you know, try to have a realistic view of something new that you could get involved with. I say that because it fell on the Emperor and the Fool card. Remember, we talked about you possibly taking on a leadership role or moving in a new direction with a new business or something of that nature. The thing is you may have high hopes for it, and it's not that the opportunity is bad, so to speak. It's just that it doesn't quite meet you where you need it to be. Finally, we have the Six of Swords. This is, I want to say cancellation in travel, but I am feeling like there's definitely going to be some type of delay, disruption, postponement, cancellation in some travel that you may have scheduled. If you don't, then probably someone that you were involved with is probably going to have some type of travel disruption. You know, maybe like a child, or I don't know, a work colleague where, you know, they planned to have a trip, but something happened and they had to cancel their trip. But again, this is not permanent. I'm picking up very clearly that that's just going to be like a postponement. You know, it's not like the trip is canceled. It's just going to be delayed or something like that. All right, so let's see what else shows up for my Sagittarius as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of October 2021. Now this is interesting because I'm looking at these two queens here. This queen is coming out at me definitely as a person. This one is more about the energy of the Queen of Wands. But let's start here. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, not my favorite card, but I like it because it brings awareness. We have to look into our money mindset. That's what this card is all about. You know, you're only as rich as you think you are. You're only as broke as you think you are. It's all about wealth starts in the mind. So sometimes we have to re-examine our own beliefs about money and what we're capable of. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. The other thing about this is you have more than you think you do, but for some reason you're just not seeing it, right? You're seeing it from a lack perspective instead of an abundance perspective. Now this happens to all of us. I don't want you to feel like this is something you only you deal with, Sagittarius. Everybody goes through this. Usually this happens right when you're on the verge of a big breakthrough. So really make sure you examine what you're thinking about money. If you have to do some inner work as far as what you think wealth is or how wealth can be in your life, make sure you do that. Next, we have the Four of Cups. You will be presented with something. It may not be the most exciting thing, but there is potential to make money there. You know, maybe it's a little side job. Maybe somebody offers you, oh, can you cover my shift? And you really don't want to, but you could use the money. It's one of those types of things. Or maybe somebody says, hey, you know, are you willing to sell your, I don't know, sewing machine? And you don't want to sell it, but you need the money. And so you're like, okay, maybe I will. It's one of those things where like an offer will show up. There's going to be a financial benefit, but you're not exactly enthusiastic about, you know, you're not excited about the opportunity. Now the Queen of Swords, this is the one where I said I feel like this is an actual person. Because it's the Queen of Swords, I'm feeling like this is a woman. However, it doesn't always have to be. It's someone who is very dominant in their feminine energy. But the thing with the Queen of Swords is sometimes she can be quite abrasive. She can be quite swift with her words and her actions. Not necessarily that she's nasty, but she's not exactly your favorite person either. And I have a feeling like she's showing up towards the end of the month, and it's somebody you have to deal with, and she's not quite pleasant, okay? And because we're talking about money and finances, could be somebody you work with, you know, maybe a boss, you know, manager, co-worker, or something like that. Or it could be like a customer. She's just a difficult customer. The thing is if you can figure out a way to kind of not take her actions or her words personally, there's definitely going to be a win there for you. Okay, so try to let her be who she is. But I think that if you do that, it will turn out to be a win for you in some way. Either you'll close the sale, you'll make a big commission, or she will bring more people to your store or whatever. But there's a difficult person here, but I'm getting very clearly that if you can just kind of deal with the difficult person, it's going to pay off. Okay? Maybe a challenge, but it will pay off. Next, we have the Magician. The Magician is a resourceful card. It's also the card of alchemy. It's using what you have to create what you want. You can manipulate things. You can manipulate energy. You can also manipulate physical matter. I know we're going a little deep with that. But again, it goes within the mind. You know, you really can create the reality you want to experience, and you are not lacking in any way in order to do that. If you are interested in seeing more money in your life, you have to figure out what internally within you needs to shift in order to make that happen. Finally, we got the Queen of Wands. This is a card where I'm picking up more. This is the energy. She's a very grounded, stable card. She's very, unlike the Queen of Swords, she's very even Steven. This is just a real good card to close out the month, because it means that considering everything that you're dealing with, things are really going to just kind of settle down by the time we reach the end of October. And you're going to feel very grounded, and you're going to feel very stable. You're going to feel very, you know, like things are finally falling into place. And that's a very, very good feeling to have. So Sagittarius, you've got a great October. You know, you've got maybe a few challenges here and there, but overall, like I said, I see you winning in more ways than one. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Halloween oracle card. Ooh, interesting. You got the card Zombie. And you can see here, it talks about control. That's very interesting. Because, yeah, I guess that could be a theme of what we were talking about as it relates to your reading. But control, this can be interpreted different ways. Is it control from within? Or are we fighting against external things that are trying to control us? You've got to figure that out for yourself. All right, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, please drop them down below. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.